Welcome, my name is James Ross, the Multimedia Editor at SBC, and today I have the pleasure to be joined by Megafair CEO Yan Shif. Welcome, how are you doing today?
Thank you for having me, I'm good, thank you.
Perfect. Let's go back a bit, let's go back to 2023 when it launched and kind of tell us how Megafair was conceived and kind of that development and progress to where we are today.
So Megafair established in the beginning of 2023. And we actually saw the casual skill games market racing on the B2C on mobile apps. And we just saw it hyper growing. We made the research and we saw that the audience is pretty same as the iGaming industry, and we decided to bring it as a game provider from the B2C to B2B. And it's take us 2 years to build it. All the infrastructure, all the engines, all the mechanisms, and in the end of last year we launched it officially.
Every company has a mission statement. Every company has that ambition when you first launch. What was your ambition and what's your short-term aim? Because we're going to talk long-term later on. So what's the short-term aim now for Megafair? What's your mission statement?
So Megafair is pretty unique company because we bring a new category of casual skill games to the iGaming. So our short term is to be integrated and popular and well known in the industry. So in order to do it, we need to make a marketing, but also a lot of biz dev right now. And we're trying now to catch as many brands and operators and platforms we can. And we do it, I think this is our mission now, and focus.
And when you come to an event like ICE or SBC Summit Lisbon, even we have our SBC Leaders event in Lisbon as well. That's the key word there, it's leaders, and you always see them around these conferences. And you yourself, as being a CEO, you are a leader. How do you kind of lead your company from its infancy in the first 2 years to that next step, to kind of that big jump after 5 to 10 years? What's your leadership style and how do you lead them to move forward, to keep innovating, to keep progressing?
So I think in the beginning, in the first 2 years, I think the leadership is to build a good team. And every company, doesn't matter what you're doing, team is everything. Company builds by the people. So I think last 2 years was to build a good, ambitious team from professionals, but also people who believe in the vision and wants to be here. And I think next few years, my leadership is to take these products and other products which we build now to the industry, and to make good relationships with other leaders, to bring the best products for them, to listen to the market, and to synchronize the team with the industry.
And you mentioned products there, and I'm going to ask you about two specific ones. So you have your Mega Bingo and Mega Solitaire, correct? Just tell me about some of the unique selling points behind those. Should we call them mega products?
So basically we now have already 4 games.
Okay.
So we're releasing games now. It's taken us a while to build the engine, but now we release skill games, tournament-based games. So every player play against others, and in every tournament someone wins. So our unique point is that you not play against the casino. It's super transparent. You know your entry fee, your prize pool, and your skills will influence your result. So on top of it, we're building the game mechanics, which is different bingo, solitaire, and slots, and so on. And on top of it, we're building a retention mechanisms, which is promotions and leaderboard tournaments and bonuses and stuff like that. So I think our unique point is that we're unique in the industry, which maybe part of the players wants to play regular slots, which is 10,000 of these slots, but our product is more for specific audience which wants to play multiplayer games, which will influence on their result, and which came to casino to bigger entertainment than just the slots.
I think the interesting thing for me is I'm seeing a lot more players that you have the instant gratification with players where they want that instant success or that instant reward.
Yes.
But what I'm actually finding now is you want a lot more players to have more control over the games. Now, I came from a slots background, and you don't get that. Like you try and get the RTP and the volatility to your favor, but sometimes your luck is just at the hands of the slot. Do you think we're going to start seeing a lot more players want more of those skill-based games so they can have that influence? And maybe this might sound controversial, and you can answer this. Do you think that skill-based element is just kind of a mirage to lure players in?
I think can be somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Our games, it's less instance than the slot, but we build big pool of players because we're doing global matchmaking, so players around all the operators can play against each other. I think that still from the side of the casino, so the prize pool and the entry fee has a big difference, so it's profitable for the casino. But I'm also think that more and more players, because the young generation want more interactive games and want influence on the game and still want to make money. And we see it from the iOS versions of the skill games. And so I think it's different experience from the slots. Some players from slots will come and play our games, but I think there's big audience of players which don't want to play slots and they want to play, and they okay with not instance games and with this experience.
When it comes to operators, if you start to give players more control, will you start to see a bit more pushback and reluctance from operators to kind of showcase your games at a higher priority in a long period of time?
I think there's different kind of operators and different kind of audiences. We see, for example, these games super popular in some audiences and in some geos, and in other geos it still not exist. So I think smart operators will use these games also to convert people, to convert users, also to retain users, and also to diversify the catalog of games. And I think in some geos we also already see it. The player value and the conversion rate is so high that operators eventually will put it on some category or like standalone category or in some features in the casino, because we see now like we don't have still much data because we're only 2 months on live, but we see some signals from our clients that these games can be amazing to convert people and also to retain, and also some people just stick it to these games and keep playing day after day, hours. Because they want to improve, because they believe that they want to, if they will play more, they will improve the skill and then they start to win.
Okay. Keeping on to the operator side of things, I'd like to kind of have us discuss how Megafair kind of deals with fair play and security, and how that kind of enhances your relationship when it comes to operators.
So regarding the fair play, I will divide it for two. One, we super transparent game. When someone choose tournament, you see the entry fee, the number of competitors in this tournament, and the prize pool. So everyone know exactly what is pay, what is can get. And this is from the transparency for the players. Also, we're building a matchmaking algorithm which try to match between players in same level. So most of the cases you will match with someone which play same amount of games plus minus and same amount of days in our system. So it's not someone will be super skilled against someone who just first time play this game. So this is why we Megafair. We're trying to make all our products super fair for everyone, for the operators, but also for the players. Regarding the security, so this is one of our development which takes time, is how to find cheaters. So first when you choose tournament, you match randomly in the rooms. So if we play together, probably in some tournament we will be in different rooms. So we can't do some, partnership. And secondly, our matching algorithm, in case of some hackers or some cheaters, so as long as you win, you will match with winners. This is the matchmaking algorithm. So if someone will hack and start to win, first we have flags, which is unhuman behavior, too fast, because most of our games is on speed.
Yeah.
And secondly, you will play against other hackers, so again you will start to lose. Yeah. So
that's
this
pretty
is
cool.
this is our like philosophy of the security.
Yeah.
You never can secure something physically, but you can just financially secure it.
I do like that, and we always take inspiration from the video game sector as well. So when you just said, if you're hacking, you're playing with other hackers, like that's exactly what the likes of Epic did with Fortnite and even Fall Guys as well.
Yeah.
Because that used to be Riddle, they're one of my favorite games, and like that's what they did. They threw them into a lobby with hackers and made the game enjoyable for casuals. So
Yeah.
talking to your team before we started this meeting was kind of getting a feel for what you were planning for 2025. Can you just give us some insight into some of the new features and games that you might be releasing in the coming months?
So regarding 2025, I also will divide it for two. One, we will build more in-game features for skill games,
Yeah.
which will increase the retention. Because again, today, I think the biggest challenge of the operators is retain people.
Yeah.
So we want to build these games which will be universe. Every game will be universe with features, again, from casual gaming, which will retain and keep players sticky to the game. Also, we will build not just the skill games this year. We make a position as an innovative gaming company for iGaming industry, and we're working closely with a few big clients.
Yeah.
And we have plans to build also not just the skill games, but these games will not be slots. This is what can I tell you. It will not be traditional slots which everyone build.
Yeah.
And we also want to take mechanics from social casino, traditional gaming, and bring it as a RNG and RTP games to our industry. Yeah. So again, we're focusing on enhance our games, skill games, with more features to retain people and to build games that the industry never seen.
Yeah.
But game of life.
Perfect. Well, all the best for 2025. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.